Hello and welcome everyone to the College Chess Podcast, Season 5, Episode 1, with very special guest, College Chess League player, FIDE Master, and Board 1 of University of Virginia, Jason Morefield.
Hello.
Welcome, Jason.
Glad to be here.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe like when you started playing chess, how you got into it.
Sure. So I learned to play chess when I was 3 years old, but that's just like knowing how the pieces move. We got this game called No Stress Chess, which makes things really easy. I wasn't actually playing real chess for a while. So it gives you a chessboard and you draw from a deck of cards to determine which piece you'll move. And on each deck of cards is how the pieces move. So you're consistently reminded of it, which was very good because I was 3 years old and wasn't very good at that stuff yet. So I played in my first tournament. When I was around 9 years old, I beat my mom for the first time, and her dad is a former state champion, so she saw that I might have some potential and registered me up for a local chess club. And a couple months after that, I played in my first tournament and got a rating of about 1,000 USCF, well, 1,050 to be exact. And yeah, so I became a national master when I was 14 years old, about 4 years after that, and FIDE master after I was 16, and I've been hovering around there for a while. Not going
Wow.
that, not going that.
So, would you say that chess kind of skips a generation,
Oh
like a
yeah,
chess?
in this case it does. My mom never really was interested,
So your
so
your grandpa is that state of Virginia?
no. So it was Washington and Minnesota.
Oh,
He was on deployment with the military, and he'd stop by these states and play in their chess tournaments.
and he would just
So
win them.
yeah, he would just win the state championships.
That's incredible. Now you actually are the Virginia state champion, right?
Yes, I won the title at first in 2021, defeating Grandmaster-elect Praveen Balakrishnan, which was the first time I'd ever beaten him over the board. I considered him nigh unbeatable before that. It came as a big surprise. Then again in 2022, when I was a top seed, it skipped a year in 2023 when GM Ehrenberg won, and I finished ahead of him this year, 2024.
Wow.
So my initial goal when I won it the first time is I want to see if I can do this every year I'm at UVA. Unfortunately, it skipped a year. But 3 out of 4 isn't too bad.
Yeah, and you might have a couple more years at UVA, I heard.
Maybe, yeah. I was recently accepted into the graduate program here, so depending on what my other offers look like, I could be here for a while longer.
So, what exactly are you studying?
So I study aerospace engineering. I've got a minor in computer science. I plan on pursuing graduate studies right now in the field of computational modeling of complex physical phenomena. Basically, using what we understand about how we can represent the physical world and formulas and whatnot, and converting that into language a computer can understand and mass propagate. Because there's no way we can do all these calculations by hand. Like if you've seen any simulations of like, you can put with existing technology, you can put like let's say a car, and run some simulations, see what will happen in a crash. They're able to do that because they take these engineering principles. They know how these materials will deform when they're subject to pressure, but calculating it by hand would be practically impossible. So we have to, you know, explain the principles to a computer so that it can use its ridiculous computational power to accomplish that task. But we haven't figured out how to model everything yet. There's still like some really little understood stuff like turbulence when if you're in an aircraft, and if you're flying at speeds like 9 times the speed of sound or above, which most people don't, uh, that's also pretty hard to model. So I'm going to be looking into some of those areas.
Wow, that really must translate well to the chessboard, huh?
Not directly, but I do like the. I was actually approached by the current lab that I got an offer from in part because of my chess, because the type nature of problem solving is pretty similar, where you are given a complicated. It's very logic based. You have in order to model something via a computer, you have to be able to understand the logic completely and convey that logic. So
Yeah,
yeah.
lots of logic,
Mhm.
calculation, and I wanted to ask, like, what
Mhm.
other areas do you think that your studies have helped your chess, or your chess has helped your studies, or is it both?
So full disclosure, I studied chess a lot more before I went to college. So my chess has helped my studies more than my studies have helped my chess. Um, I find that chess has really helped because one of the main approaches I took was it's a very self-critical approach. I'd play games, I'd analyze them, I'd find where I messed up, and I'd work to improve. And so that sort of iterative process definitely helps in academics. You do something, you find out whatever mistakes you've made, and you work to correct them in future iterations. So yeah, and also it's gotten me used to doing difficult work.
Got
So
it. Would you say chess is more difficult than aerospace engineering?
well, it's hard to say. We don't understand either of them completely.
Got it.
But any individual task in chess, for example, if playing against somebody significantly lower rated than me, I'd say is easier than aerospace engineering homework.
For sure.
Um, I don't know if they're really comparable, but like solving a problem nobody knows how to solve in chess and solving a problem nobody knows how to solve in aerospace, they're probably about the same. In that
Yeah.
I doubt any one person can accomplish it.
Do you have any other fellow aerospace engineers in the chess club at UVA?
No.
No, just you.
So, no, it's just me. So there was a mechanical engineer who's around 1200 USCF that I'd actually known for a while, but he graduated last year.
Okay.
So as far as I'm aware of it, I don't know the majors of the new national masters, but I know Owens and economics major.
Owen, yeah, and Owen is the team captain, right?
Yeah, he was in prior years. I might be co-captaining him with him this year to take some of the load off. He's got a very busy semester right before graduation.
Oh, so you're both about to graduate.
Yes. So yeah, we're both in the same year. So he's going to be staying on the team for a year longer, if I heard correctly, because he's taking in one of those connected accelerated masters programs.
Okay.
So you'll be seeing more of him definitely.
That's good to know because he's a very important part of the team and the club, and I'm sure they're all hoping that you'll stay at Virginia.
Yeah,
So
it seems likely at this point, but I've only heard back from one college, and that's this one.
yeah, we'll wait and see.
Mhm.
I do know that Virginia, we haven't fully or officially published the divisions just yet for the Collegiate Chess League Spring 2025 season, but
Mhm.
I can maybe leak some early news that Virginia will be back in Division 1. Again, being the 8th seed.
Wait,
So,
I thought we got moved. Owen did some calculations. We thought we'd be number 7.
oh, well, we'll have to see when the official list comes out.
Okay.
I do know some of the peak 30-day ratings might be a little weird that we've been using, and
Oh, you use peak FIDE ratings? I'm shocked we're
no,
not in
not
Division 3.
peak 30-day, not
Okay.
FIDE. Yeah,
Okay. Because
close.
peak FIDE ratings, we're not up there. Full disclosure.
Well, there's not maybe that many FIDE teams. I don't know, but I did want to ask how many teams or how many times have you guys been in D1? Do you remember?
I think we've been in Division 1 all but 1 year. There was one season where we were in Division 2, and it was funny because we went from being the 7th seed in Division 1 to being the 7th seed in our group in Division 2.
That's
So that
rough.
was an unusually strong year.
Yeah,
But yeah, the only reason we're back in D1 this year is because we got 2 national masters as first years.
okay, so some new talent,
New talent,
some
definitely.
some recruitment efforts, perhaps.
Oh, definitely not. I was not I wish UVA actually paid attention to, the chess stuff. As far as administration is concerned, full disclosure, it's hard to get a room with tables for our chess club. So I doubt they don't really. Do they know we exist?
I hope
We'll
so.
see.
Hope you
I
guys
hope so.
are recognized. Yeah, maybe we could talk to Virginia's admins somehow and say like, hey, you guys know you guys have a top 8 team in the Collegiate Chess League
Yeah,
out of
maybe.
almost 400 teams or whatever. It's like 24 divisions, and you guys are in D1. It's pretty good.
Thanks. Maybe I tried to plug it. So UVA's done 2 articles on me after I won the state championship in 2021 and 2024. They didn't respond in 2022 for some reason. I guess it was boring that year.
I think
Um,
yeah, I can't come up with any excuses for them.
yeah, well, I mean, I was the top seed. The other 2 years, there was a GM who was supposed to win and didn't. So
Yeah.
maybe it makes for more of a story. I don't know. Anyway, I try to plug the chess club in those, but that's all I can do.
Well, speaking of beating GMs, you have been beating them over the board, but also in the Collegiate Chess League. Specifically, I'm thinking of some GMs from the Mizzou team.
Mhm.
Perhaps I think last season we started the season opener with Mizzou versus Virginia, and you guys had a huge upset, giving them a
Yeah.
loss to start the season.
Yeah, that was a really surprising experience. I was not full disclosure. I was expecting that even if I went 4-0, we would lose the match. I was just trying to score as many points as I possibly could. I don't know if you caught it, but the screenshot you posted on Twitter,
I,
after, like from the 7-5, you catch the exact moment I realized that we were up 7-5.
that was one of the best screenshots of the whole season. I think the thumbnail where, or actually not the 7-5, but at the very end of the match
Mhm,
where it was showing 9-7. I think
mhm.
all four Virginia players just had a absolute shocked face. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was the most unexpected result. Yeah, um, we definitely expected to lose terribly. That's how that was the first upset of that magnitude we've scored in every year we're in Division One. So, and it was Alex and Jason's debut match. So
Huge.
Jason Liu. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, I know you guys have played Mizzou before,
Mhm,
and obviously your chances of making a deep impact in the playoffs are pretty slim.
mhm.
Um, and you mentioned having played in Division Two before, but do you have a preference, like being in Division Two, maybe having better chances, or being in Division One and having worse chances, but getting the opportunity to play against teams like Mizzou and even upsetting them?
Well, I mean, personally, if I'm acting totally on an individual basis, which one never does in team matches, I like Division One. I can score some points in Division One, and if I'm scoring some points, I'm happy. So, as far as my team prospects are considered, I think that uh, psychologically, it's hard to lose a lot. So there was part of our team which was hoping that we were in the top spot of Division Two and we'd actually be able to go through the playoffs a decent distance. Um, so yeah, I like Division One. I wouldn't mind Division Two, but I definitely look forward to the matches more when I know I'm going to be facing GMs.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think you guys are like one team off from being D2. Um,
Of course.
so maybe if we convince like Webster or Dallas to join again, you guys would
Hmm.
be a good team
Yeah,
in D2.
yeah, maybe. Um, I know of a one team off or one player off. So funny story at the U.S. Masters in November, Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana was playing, and he was set to play someone about my rating in round one. So I was waiting to see if that would happen. I was one board off. So there's 128 boards. If you know how a Swiss system works, top half pairs against the bottom half. I was the lowest rated player in the top half,
Oh,
single half point by. But
okay.
hey, I won that game, and I wouldn't have if it was Fabi.
Who knows? Who knows? You've beaten some GMs before.
Who
Uh,
knows? Yeah, I guess if you stretch the definition.
yeah. So, any super GMs? Maybe not yet.
Kind of.
Kind of.
So it's always a bunch of asterisks. On my main account, the only super grandmaster I've beaten, and to be fair, this is a big name. It isn't in regular chess. I have beaten Grandmaster Jan Christoph Duda 3 times in a row,
Oh, in a row.
but it was Bullet Chess 960.
Hey, I mean, I'll count it.
Yeah, it's hey, it's not a variant where they change how the pieces move. Full disclosure, I won the third game because he disconnected, but
Okay, okay. Well,
the other
still,
two were legit.
still. Didn't Doodah do really well in, was it freestyle, or didn't they have a 960 event recently?
I don't know if they had anything recently, but I know around the time that I defeated Duda, Duda defeated Carlson over the board. So my Carlson number, if you include online 960 games, which no sane person does, is 2.
Well, what's the Carlson number without the asterisks?
Like
Do we?
4.
Four.
If you only count like in-person classical games, it's like 4 or something. Because
Hey,
my first GM sculpt is also the highest rated GM I've ever beaten.
who was that?
Grandmaster Andrei Stukopin, who's about 2563 FIDE.
Okay, and then
That
who?
was
You know
mhm.
the players that he beat that then beat
I,
Magnus,
I do
or
not.
you
So
gotta?
calculate mag. I
Is there a
calculated
website?
this on a website somewhere.
Oh, that's amazing.
So let's see Magnus number. Let's see.
Magnusnumber.com.
Yes, it's magnusnumber.com. You can search
Oh
based
my
on your name or
goodness.
FIDE ID.
That's amazing.
My Magnus number is 3.
Oh, it improved.
Oh, it did improve, and I see why, because of the path. I'm going to work backwards from Magnus Carlsen, and maybe you'll see why. Hans Niemann,
Okay.
Arthur Guo, and me.
Arthur. Okay. So when did you beat Arthur?
I actually... Wait.
Did you
I
beat
don't
him?
remember. Is this site wrong?
You have the wrong.
I think I lost against Arthur Guo.
Okay. Shout out to magnusnumber.com getting us
Shout
some
out to
pretty numbers.
magnusnumber.com for being absolutely incorrect. So,
We'll
what is...
take it.
Oh, victory distance. Yeah, it says I beat Arthur Guo. Actually, I think I beat Arthur Guo. Okay. In the 20s, I think I might be confusing it for another person. 2017 US Masters. That was quite some time ago.
Yeah.
But there was a game where I was playing against a very young, talented player. I think that was Arthur Guo. And I played this really nice move, so now I gotta open up ChessBase and see if that's actually correct. Apologies for the detour.
No, this is good. We need this
Okay.
information.
So, yeah. 2017 US Masters. The 2017 I actually did not do well at all. Maybe it was 2018.
I think
No, that was Justin Wang that I beat with black. Go ahead.
my only hope of doing anything like this is if I play against some really young child that
Mhm.
barely knows how the pieces move, and then that child ends up becoming a prodigy later on, and then as that child is growing, Magnus is getting older.
Mhm.
Maybe they could beat Magnus, and then I could have like a Magnus number of 2.
Mhm. Yeah, that's the hope. It's some of my coaches said like they're gonna try and I have never had an official coach, but when I started playing chess, I signed up for some local classes with Mary Munford and whatnot, and the coach was just like, I want to get in, I want to defeat you now so that I can say I've done it later when you get titled.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I beat Arthur Guo in the 2019 US Masters, and so I've actually got this really neat position. I consider this to be one of the best moves I've ever played over the board. So I'm going to, if is it possible for me to share my screen here?
No, but
Okay.
you can post the link in the chat.
So it's a thing on ChessBase. Is it possible for you to share your screen? Because I can send you an image.
I'm not ready on our on this podcast, unfortunately.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, we'll leave it there. Anyway, so without spoiling anything, it's when you're playing over the board and you see this move and you're like, okay, there's no way it's the best move, but it looks so cool that I gotta. If I can't refute it, I'm playing it anyway. And it's like I'm sure Stockfish has some reason to refute it, but I couldn't find one. And then it turns out it's the only winning move.
That's
So
incredible.
I'm gonna so just so you can look at it, I'm gonna DM it to you.
Yeah, I permitted you in the Twitch chat. If you can.
Oh, okay. So in that case, let's see. How do I've never actually posted VGN on chess.com.
You're making a. You could just post any link of the game, or you're trying to make it.
It's in ChessBase right now.
Okay.
So that's the tricky part because I got the raw PGN.
Could you share the ChessBase link?
It's a program link, so
okay.
Yeah, if
My
you don't
bad.
have ChessBase, yeah, it's all good.
I understand.
I can open something up in Chess, maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, no, but I know it's. Are you
It doesn't matter.
Stream? Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. So
It's just for the
study
Twitch chat.
just for the Twitch chat.
Also,
So
yeah, speaking of Twitch chat, you've been streaming yourself.
yeah, I've been streaming the Virginia Collegiate-ish Speed Chess Championships, which is
Collegiate-ish.
collegiate-ish because there's one player in the 11th grade, and then there's one player who graduated recently.
Got it.
But I wanted to get 8, so it's collegiate-ish.
So there's some flexibility.
Yeah, some flexibility. I just wanted some strong players to play blitz matches against. Blitz and bullet, SCC style.
This is the first time you organized it?
Yes. First time I've done this sort of thing, and many players have indicated they're interested in doing it again. So that's good. Oh, visibility public. Yeah. So puzzle. Position name. Puzzle.
You're gonna make it the move. You're gonna make it a puzzle.
I'm going to set up the position.
Nice.
In the in there and copy copy position, and then import. Yeah.
Shout out to Geezer in the chat, and Brody and Wikipedia and Phoenix, Supermark as well. Also, thanks for the follows. And yeah, you guys, the season starts this weekend. Saturday, the season opener will feature Jason. If you want to go check him out, support him. Jason, I don't know if you're planning on streaming any of your matches this season.
I don't know if I can if I'm in the Zoom. So if it's not already being broadcast, then I could consider it. But generally, what I like to do with the team, I know. So we don't talk to each other in games, and we don't have a physical dedicated space to meet up. So what we generally do is like we have a Discord channel. We're deafened during our games. So I don't know if I'll be streaming those matches. I might try and stream a couple other things like if I can plan a Title Tuesday one week, I might. Unfortunately, my schedule in every semester, Tuesday is always one of the busiest days.
You got to play Title Tuesday from class.
Yeah, problem is, so that's the thing. Title Tuesday, they seem to really like asking me to go on Zoom to be proctored. And I can't do that if I'm in class.
It's because you're so strong and you're a FIDE master. They're like, man, this guy, he's beating up all these GMs.
I mean, I'm actually kind of confused because last time it happened, so there was this one Title Tuesday where I had a ridiculous run. I went 8.5 out of 11. And ended up in 10th place. No contact from them. Then next week, I score 7.5. I've been averaging a solid 7.5. And they're like, sorry, we need to have you in a proctored call next time. And like, why now?
Yeah.
Maybe it is random?
I don't know either. But top 10, that's pretty good.
Top 10 is the best I've gotten so far. This week, I actually got close to getting... So it's funny. It's like, I almost always get 7.5, precisely. Sometimes I get 7. I've never gotten 8. I almost got 8 this week, but I got 8.5 that one time because I beat 4 Grandmasters in a row.
That's awesome.
Or something like that. Thanks. Yeah, I started off pretty badly, but
it's not about how you start.
It's not about how you start. It's about how many points.
And we learned that last season in the Collegiate Chess League when you guys started off by beating Mizzou.
Yeah, exactly. It's not about how you start. It's about your average.
And Mizzou ended up winning the whole season. So yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, my starts are wildly inconsistent. I am a very streaky. I can go on streaks a lot, but that's in both directions.
You heard it here first. Jason likes to go streaking.
Oh yeah, of course. That's definitely what I said. Not misconstrued at all.
I'm joking. But Jason, I know your previous the last match I saw in your Virginia-ish Speed Chess Championship, you started off 0-5.
Yeah, so I rolled out of bed to start the match. I had no warm up. I was playing against Isaac, who's currently in Europe, and as such, he'd been awake and warming up for a while. Isaac's already a very strong player, but the lack of a warm-up and that It just meant I lose five in a row. So I'm down 0 and 5. 45 minutes have passed in the 5 minute portion. And at that point, my thought is if I lose another game, like I went up a piece in game six. And I genuinely said on stream, if I lose this one, I'm quitting.
Yeah, but you
Because if
you didn't.
I did not, I converted that game, won two more in a row. The match got close. And yeah. So yeah, it's momentum is very important. So do you remember the Collegiate Chess League when they hosted like Blitz and Rapid championships?
We did a fall season with individuals, right?
Yeah, so there was this like 1 day tournaments where it's like 12 rounds of Blitz and there are like 9 rounds of Rapid.
You're not talking about the U.S. Chess Federation College
It
Rapid
might
and
have been
Blitz.
US. It might have been USCF rated,
Then
but
that
it was
that was
hosted by
not.
the Collegiate Chess League.
We probably broadcast it, and we probably had it on chess.com online,
Mhm.
right?
Yes, it was
Yeah,
online.
yeah.
Let me look at my tournament history.
That might have been like
Yes,
2 or 3
US
years ago.
Collegiate Blitz Online Championship, November 5th, 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I just bring those up because it's really characteristic of how I would start and very differently than I also did. I got called into fair play because after 6 rounds of a blitz, I was 5.5 out of 6.
Yeah.
And yeah, then of course my performance is like I'm playing GMs every round. I have no time to actually recompose myself. But yeah. So if anybody looks at the 2024 season, just look at my first 7 games. The season ended after that. There's nothing else.
Yeah, actually, you had a really good start in the Collegiate Chess League last season. If not one of the best. You were like one of the few undefeated players. Um,
Yeah, and then Cheka broke the streak, and now then I started playing normally.
yeah, Nicholas Cheka from Yale, I believe he's returning, and you might get your revenge this season.
Perhaps.
So,
Yeah.
looking
So
forward to
Cheka
it.
is a funny story. So Mahin, who used to be on our team back before we got the two NMs, and Mahin graduated. He's now on the B team. He's the one who could, yeah. So he'll be returning to the Collegiate Chess League this year, just not on the same team. Cheka couldn't score against him somehow. So the first time he and Cheka played, Cheka went up 4 queens and stalemated him.
Classic.
Classic. Which we track as like a grandmaster did that. And then the next time he played Mahin, he blundered a full queen. So now that Mahin's off our team, our performance against Yale has been lower,
Oh man,
even though we've got significantly higher rated players.
Maheen is the anti-Cheka,
Anti-Cheka specifically.
and Cheka doesn't know how to use his queens.
I guess not.
Either
It's just so hard to checkmate with 4 queens, isn't it?
either have four and stalemate or lose the one that you have.
But that's not even the most incredible feat a player on our former team has pulled off. He's graduated now, but when we had Brandon?
I can't remember.
So Brandon Au. There was one CCL match. He used to be our board 3, where the critical match. We won this match 8.5 to 7.5. Brandon won a game with a bear king against a king and a pawn.
With the resign?
Yes, there was a resignation.
I think I remember. I think he was trying to offer a draw or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yes, and that was the critical match that made us qualify for the playoffs.
I think I remember that. I'm like, yeah, that should like be possible to resign when your opponent only has a king. Like
It should not.
that's
But,
brutal.
yeah. Ever since then, he's been posting occasionally in the chat whenever it happens again.
Oh no.
He is the only player on the team where that has happened.
Well, that's a good luck charm, I guess.
Yeah, we refer to it as his legendary endgame skills.
The opponent resigns. Yeah.
Yeah, they know they can't win even against the mighty king. As
That's a rough mouse slip for online.
Yeah, and if they had brought something up about it right then, our team agrees, yeah, we probably would have just called that game a draw and moved on to tiebreaks. However, they didn't bring it up until a week later when it looked like it would affect their playoff seeding.
Yeah, I think our rules is whatever the result is on the site is final. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's rough. It's rough for sure. Like disconnects or whatever.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention St. Louis Chess Club rated us, so shout out to the St. Louis Chess Club. Hope that you
Uh,
guys are doing well. This is the College Chess Podcast. You guys are tuning in for the first season or first episode of season 5,
mhm.
just 2 days before the start of our spring 2025 season, which will feature St. Louis University, as well as Mizzou, some Missouri schools. There's also a school, Maryville University, that's in St. Louis, that's joining for the first time, and Washington University is also joining as well. Shout out to Brody, who goes to SIU E, which is just on the other side of the river of St.
Mhm.
Louis. But Jason, I wanted to ask if you've been to St. Louis to play chess.
I have precisely once. My family traveled to St. Louis when shortly after I got the national master title, and I specifically requested, since we were in the area anyway, we have to go to a St. Louis chess club. And so I got to see all these areas in person, and actually played Bug House with Yasser Seirawan. I had to stop when I moved to bishop on c8 to g4 over a pawn on e6 because I was clearly way too exhausted to play anymore. But I was there for like a hour and a half. It was nice.
You couldn't claim that that's just a bug house rule where you like
Oh
a house
no,
just
not when you're playing Yasser Seirawan.
you can drop the were you playing against him or on his team?
I was playing against him.
Okay. Yeah,
Not the
he's a
best
pretty
place to
good
be.
bug player.
Yeah, definitely better than I was at the time. Yeah, one thing about growing up as a homeschool student, you don't really get many chances to play Bug House. So yeah, even that even persists in my to this day. I play more Bug House because when I got to UVA, Owen wasn't showing up to the chess club yet. He was taking a bit of a hiatus. He was working on coaching and whatnot, which meant that after a while, nobody there wanted to play me in regular chess. So I got a lot of Bug House practice in because I would still lose a bunch of those.
Yeah,
But
and
it still shows my strategy because I'll drop pieces for positional reasons. And
you don't hop pieces with the bishop anymore.
oh no, I don't
Or
hop pieces with the bishop anymore. But I know you're supposed to just play for the initiative at all costs, but I'll be playing against Owen and I'll be dropping a pawn on e5 because it bolsters my presence in the center. I know that's not how you're supposed to play, but I can make up for that.
it's good to control the center though.
Oh, yeah, controlling the center is good.
Yeah.
Checkmating the king is better, and Owen reminds me of that.
It's okay. I'm sure you guys are still winning. I had a question. So,
Mhm,
St. Louis obviously a big chess hub, but there's also Charlotte, which just hosted the Pan Ams, which
mhm.
is the biggest over-the-board college chess tournament in North America. It happens every January. I believe your team didn't go this year.
That's correct. We couldn't make the logistics work. We had 4 people, but we didn't hear about the event until one of our new national masters had committed to doing something else, and we weren't able to find a replacement among the stronger players in our club. We could have potentially scrounged up something at the absolute last minute, but at that point we decided not to go.
Yeah, it's
So,
unfortunate because I feel like Charlotte is probably one of the closer venues to
oh
Virginia.
yeah, definitely. It was in Dulles in 2022. So I don't know if you know the story about our team playing in 2022, but that was when it was me, National Master Owen McCoy, and then 2 Untitled 2000 players, Mahin and Brandon. So we go there, we just play a couple of games, everything goes as expected by rating, and then halfway into the tournament, Brandon gets exposed to someone who has COVID. Now this is in 2022, so the organizers are taking this super seriously. Brandon has to drop out. We took 2 teams, 4 players each. We don't have any alternates. So we played the last 3 matches a player down, lost the first one, 1.5 to 2.5, then 3-0'd the next 2 teams, and finished as top team under 2200.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was really surprising. So I actually left early because I wasn't expecting a prize, because I just assumed, okay, even if we score the points, our tie breaks are terrible since we're missing a player. But no, we won enough games that we actually got that title on tie breaks.
And Brandon was your fourth board,
Brandon was our third board.
third board. Okay.
So yeah, we
So do they make your fourth board play board 3 or
I think it depended. I think the fourth board had to play board 4. The third board was ordered an automatic win.
okay? Yeah, that would be crazy if they made your fourth board play board three, because that's rough.
Our board four was actually hoping for that at one point
Wow.
because one of the teams was organized such that the player on board four was lower rated but provisional and had a playing strength online significantly stronger than the board three who had an established rating.
Okay.
So we pulled it off anyway.
Yeah. I actually went to that one. I was going to be
Mhm.
like a producer for the broadcast, but I also ended up getting sick.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that was the first Pan Ams I went to, and then I ended up getting sick and I couldn't actually go and see it. But I did go the next year. I believe it was in Seattle.
Nice.
And then the next year that was in Texas, right?
I
Last.
guess. I wasn't really keeping track. I only saw that it was in Charlotte this year. I haven't paid attention to it when it's too far away because if our school can't give us rooms with tables half the times, I'm very apprehensive about the plane tickets.
Yeah. Yeah, so who knows? Maybe St. Louis will host it one of these years.
Maybe.
Um, I know it's not very close to Virginia, but it's closer than Seattle.
Yeah, definitely. And I might actually have to look into the regulations for graduate students.
Yeah, I don't know if they have a limit, but you're definitely welcome back in the Collegiate Chess League. The Collegiate Chess League is not as old as Pan Am's, so we don't have as strict, I think, rules for like limits. I think if I were to make a limit on CCL, it'd maybe be like 8 years
Mhm.
if you're undergrad
Right.
plus grad school. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, Collegiate Chess League's only been around since 2020, so we're 5 years in. Um, and you've been playing most of your time, right?
I've been playing since I got to UVA,
Okay, so
so
all 4 years.
all 4 years. Yeah, now that we've got a team, it's we had. I think Owen and I were the first titled players to go here.
Oh wow.
So we've got a player, we've got an alumnus who went here before us, who is now titled, but wasn't titled at the time he attended school.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so it is. So I'm glad that that worked out, and I'm glad we got some new talent this year because it's helped us stay in Division One as the league gets stronger.
And are you thinking about trying to go for international master title?
Long term, yeah, that's definitely a plan. It's of course the logistics have to be worked out, and I have to spend more time on chess than I'm doing right now. So it's on a. I'm still playing chess in competitive tournaments occasionally, but my studying is a lot more sporadic. If I can work out a way to do it more consistently, then yeah, I can definitely make a more serious push for IM. And long term, that's definitely what I hope to do. I mean, long term, if I can, let's see if I can get GM before 30. I've got 9 years left.
Wow. Okay.
But,
That's awesome.
uh, yeah. So it's that was my goal when I started out, and I feel like I can't stop playing chess until I get there. But who knows? Maybe I'll get the title and instantly retire.
Yeah,
But I like it.
you got a lot of title Tuesdays between now and then too. So
True. Yeah, a lot more chances to score it and a half,
and get
given
top
the rate.
10. Yeah, I think Title Tuesday recently just hit its peak attendance with over 900 players, and I think they're trying to hit 1,000. So if you're titled, maybe help break that record, and you could say I was top 10 in one of these.
Hmm.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, was that yesterday evening or in the not yesterday, Tuesday evening or in the morning?
I don't know.
Okay, I
Did,
played in the evening one, so
maybe you helped contribute to that.
maybe.
Did Owen play?
Owen did. I don't know if Owen plays. He plays occasionally, and Owen's beaten Hikaru. He is the guy in our club who has beaten Hikaru on a main account. I
Okay.
have beaten Hikaru once on, maybe twice. I flagged him once on an alternate account, but I can't exactly, just say that because that's my anonymous account. So
Well,
it can't really be verified. So I've been looking to get a scalp on the main account, but that's proven a lot harder.
one of the players in the Collegiate Chess League from Arizona State, Asish Panda. I think he posted that he beat Magnus in Title Tuesday. I think because of a
Oh,
mouse
nice.
slip.
Nice. Well, I've played Magnus Entitled Tuesday. It did not go well at all, and I still get messages about it from family who
Oh
don't
no.
play chess. I lost in like 14 moves because so Magnus, looking at the replay, it's like, frustrating. Magnus played like A6, A3, that sort of stuff against everybody else. Against me, he plays this tricky line of the Roy Lopez, and I forget the theory and instantly lose. So I
Uh,
gotta say, at least he thinks that, unlike Fabiano Caruana, I need to be played
taking some
against serious
seriously.
openings. You got to take it seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that was the one where he went 11 out of 11.
Oh my goodness. So you could say you're part of that.
I am part of that.
Part of the
In
perfect.
fact, I probably contribute because, uh, when you're matched up against Magnus, it's almost a certain loss. And I think my performance was kind of helped by the fact I got it out of the way so quickly.
Was that
But
was that the first round?
round 3.
3. Okay.
I play down in the first 2 rounds usually, because I'm around 2,800 on chess.com.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, have you hit 2,900?
That's the big question. So, 2,895.
Okay, 5 elo away.
5 elo away. That's my peak. And I got there and I'm like, okay, I got to get there. I got to get here. That was actually after one of the CCL matches last semester. So, like, I hit like 2830 or something. This was shortly after my streak, before my points had gone completely away. And I was like, okay, I got to make a push for it and see how far I can get. And I made it to 2895. In the game, I'm supposed to break 2,800, 2,900. I'm 2 queens up, and I lose on time. I don't lose on time. I draw on time,
Oh, okay.
and then I start losing some games.
The classic.
Classic. So yeah. So I was playing a national master, Shilip Overroy.
Ah, okay.
He's on the St. Louis team.
Yes.
So yeah, I was up 2 queens. I came that close and then didn't win. I offered a rematch, and he's like, sorry, I don't want to play again. So I'm like, okay, I'll take my chances in the pool. Then I get matched up against GM Maxim Matlikov, and I realize this is not going to happen, is it?
Oh no.
I draw and then lose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's crazy on chess.com how you can get matched up against these people you recognize from the news articles if you play in.
Yeah, once you get to the top level, I feel like people just kind of know people. So
Mhm.
I don't know Matlikov that well, but I do know Shelev as a slew player. We might actually see him playing this weekend.
Mhm.
So I kind of hinted Mizzou versus Virginia. I think our other match we want to watch is going to be Slew versus Athens, who will be returning. And I guess I can also leak. We have a new D1 team. It's not Prague. Do you want to guess? It's another European.
It's another European team. I think Owen told me this.
Did he look up the? I think
Um,
technically we have a public list
oh,
available.
so actually, never mind. Owen told me this, and it was a different thing. He's when he thought he was ours. We were the 7th seed. I'm gonna guess that the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign is top in Division 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so he thought we would be number 7 ahead of them. So
So you guys missed.
we missed this European team.
It's Lviv in Ukraine.
Oh, they're back. I think they played in a previous season.
Jeffrey said, "Yeah, Lviv has been playing, but they haven't been D1. They've been D2.
Nice.
So yeah,
So, out of curiosity, is the gap as big? Because last season we were number 8, and the gap separated us and number 7 was 100 average rating points.
yeah. I think you guys are the only D1 team that's not average above 2,700.
Right.
So,
Yeah, when we saw that, we're like, oh, we really got our work cut out for us.
yeah, I forgot. There was like a year where Columbia University played with Brandon Jacobson and
Mhm.
I forgot like what I'm trying to think of, but it's like
Oh,
one player difference like moved them from or
oh,
maybe some other team.
oh, I remember Columbia. We Virginia played Columbia on stream. So funny thing about Brandon Jacobson, he is the only player to have ever adopted me in regular chess.
In
So
classic.
no,
Oh,
we obviously
I'm
there's
like
no situation in classical where somebody. No, I mean regular chess, as in
like
not a
just
variant.
yeah, standard, yeah, online.
I I played like one of the top players in the world in three check once and lost 15 times in a row, but I don't think it counts because it's three check. But that match against Brandon was just regular 3 minute.
Okay, so 3 minute adoption.
Yes. And going into that match was the first time I'd played against him since he had adopted me.
That's fun stuff.
So,
How'd that game go?
oh, I missed mate and lost.
Brutal.
So I ended up defeating him just in a random online game a couple like a year later.
Okay,
So the curse is broken.
nice. So he
Yeah.
got you at least 11 times in a row.
Yeah. The tricky part is that when he plays normally, he has a similar style to me. He's just better at it. It's stylistic matchups in chess. If somebody's good at everything you're good at but better at them than you, what kind of positions do you aim for? It's like if you're good at tactics and they're really good at positional play, they might be higher rated than you, but if you can guide it into a more complex game, you have a chance of them messing up. But what if you're really good at positional play but your opponent's even better? What if you're okay at tactics and your opponent's good? Then you don't really have a there's no area of the game where you know you'll play better than them, so you have to rely on chance. And that often doesn't work out.
Yeah, so you like rolled the dice with him 10 times in a row and he
Yeah, it
flipped.
doesn't work out.
Um, and all of that, I'm assuming, is well before his match with Danya, right?
Oh yeah, well before the
Yeah.
match with Danya. So that was my main exposure to Brandon Jacobs. I actually played him over the board once, and it was in another U.S. Masters. I got an equal endgame as black and a Catalan. He needed the classic white with Catalan thing,
Okay.
where I gradually lose.
So you play US Masters a lot, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, I've played every year except 2020 since 2017.
Is that your favorite tournament?
It's the one that I most consistently play in, aside from the Virginia State Championships. So, the U.S. Masters is in Charlotte. It's very convenient, and my family likes to use it as a Thanksgiving vacation.
Very nice.
So we all head down to North Carolina. I play some games, and they celebrate Thanksgiving and do things like visit tourist destinations or things that chess players don't do.
Yeah, it's funny. I most consistently have been playing in Vegas for North American Open and National
Mhm.
Open. I didn't play last year, but might be going back in June for National Open. And my friends want to go because it's Vegas. They don't
Mhm.
play chess, but it's very similar. It's going to be like a vacation. I'm just going to
Yeah.
be playing chess. They're going to be gambling and going partying, and we're
Mhm.
all going to have a great time.
I explain it as I've traveled up and down the East Coast a good bit, but I see a lot of different hotel rooms. That's that's mainly it. I've seen a bunch of different ballrooms. I was in Philadelphia for the World Open once. I went across the street once, I think. I don't visit many of the tourist stuff. I like to just relax in between games. Sometimes I analyze them. Usually I just completely recharge. It's like, you expend all your energy, you get all of it back. You expend all your energy, you get all of it back. Do that cycle until a tournament's over.
And let's say if you wanted to go for a title push, would you play in Europe, you think?
So that's the thing. I know it's easier to get a title in Europe. That's what people say because United States, everybody's FIDE is underrated. So if I get too far into the title push and I'm having no luck, maybe. But I want to do it I want to see if I can do it the hard way.
You can get the
So I don't play in norm tournaments
okay.
because I know I've always been like relatively annoyed by them because I've funded my own chess career since I started at age so at age 11 I stopped playing in scholastic tournaments and started playing like actual tournaments. But in order to do that, I had to actually be able to pay for that. So I've been coaching since that age to do so. So I would always be annoyed at the exorbitant entry fees of the norm tournaments. I've been invited multiple times. I have not gone. So perhaps in the future, I would consider playing in a norm tournament as a player with the title already, just to make it harder for the people playing it, just to ensure that at least one of the opponents is going to be trying to beat them. But yeah, when you go to those norm tournaments, the title play, it's like, I don't know. They turn out norms really quickly, and I know Apamanyu Mishra was in a controversy about it, and I think that's why they said at least one of the norms has to come from an open.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So yeah, he got like his grandmaster title at one of the youngest age ever at the time, but he did so playing in those norm tournaments, and so there were like questions of like collusion or whatever, because I've noticed in that rate, the top players seemed willing to draw games a lot more frequently than otherwise. I guess because they're concerned about getting invites back. But yeah. Anyway, I want to see. Once I get a norm the hard way, I've come close 3 times. There are 3 tournaments where I've become within half a point of getting an international master norm. If those 3 tournaments went a little bit differently, I'd already have 3 norms.
Oh man.
So as it is, I have 0.
What's your FIDE rating?
My FIDE rating is not great. It's like 2230. So I hit 23. I had a string of 2 fantastic tournaments to hit FIDE master. So I started 2150. And I played in the Washington Chess Congress. I start off the tournament by my first ever GM scalp, and you can tell it's going to be different because I got a K factor of 40. I beat somebody 400 points higher rated. I gained 103 points in that tournament and came within half a point of an IM norm.
Okay.
That was the first time. Then I played in the Chesapeake Open. I went undefeated and got a rating of exactly 2300.
Wow.
FIDE, at which point I got the title.
And is that your peak?
That is my peak. Thing is, I didn't earn that rating.
Oh, come on.
So my K factor changed to K20, and it was a long and painful tumble down.
Oh man.
I just had 2 good tournaments. So anybody can have 2 good tournaments, but the rating eventually adjusts for itself. So I've been working my way up the hard way since then.
I mean,
my USCF rating suggests my FIDE should be 2300. If it was accurate. But lots of underrated opponents and few tournaments mean my FIDE rating's relatively low.
Yeah, I love that you say anyone could have 2 good tournaments, but first off, I don't know if that's true. Second off, a good tournament, you're maybe loosely defined. I mean, you got to 2300 at the end of the day, which is what you need for the title. So, and yeah, next up, who knows? Is it gonna be IM? Is it gonna be 2900? Is it gonna be
2900 is a lot easier than I am.
Back-to-back 4-0 sweep of the Mizzou team?
That's what I'm hoping for this Saturday.
Well, we're gonna find out this Saturday. For anyone watching in the Collegiate Chess League, we should have the divisions and pairings announced shortly today. So keep an eye out for that. Anyone that needs to reschedule, try to reach out to your opponents. Definitely join our Discord if you haven't already. That's where everyone is. And be sure to tune in this weekend on the main chess broadcast. We're going to have Jules Gambit back again. Bach is going to be out because he's playing in Tata Steel. He's going to have a replacement this weekend. We'll see who that is. Should I leak it? Do you want to know?
I'm kind of curious. I know Jules was so last season. Jules was the one rooting for us, and Grandmaster Bach was rooting for Mizzou. So I'm glad that the one in our corner is back. I'm curious.
Yeah, we'll have Jules every week. Week 1 for Bach's place, we'll have Grandmaster Alexander Donchenko filling in. So he's from Germany. His first time commentating with us, so that'll be exciting. I'll surprise or leak the week 2 maybe on next week's podcast. So everyone stay tuned for that. Maybe I'll leak next week's podcast guest. Now I think we want to have Matthew Pikus from Slew's B team. He was on broadcast one time last season. It was really exciting. So I think he's a fun character. But this season couldn't have started off with a better guest. FIDE Master Jason Morefield from University of Virginia. Good luck not only this weekend but this entire season, Jason.
Thank you. Seed, we definitely need it. I'll take all the help we can get.
Yep. And just a reminder, Jason does stream, so be sure to go check him out. It's Chessically Inclined. He's been doing a lot of great stuff, and hope that he continues playing and organizing events and streaming. And we'll see you all this weekend, Jason.
Yep. I'll see you this weekend.
All right, stick around for the raid. We're gonna find someone, and hopefully, I'll see you all later. Thanks again. Take care.
Thanks for watching.